It has beckoned thousands and been tamed by so few. What key unlocks the cage of this beast? Now a new generation of challengers is pounding the pavement looking for the combination. And the man of steel has already dialed the first numbers. Since Thunder last visited in June a year ago, Dave Steele has taken a whip and a crack to Winchester. He's claimed 4 consecutive USAC National Sprint Car feature wins on the high banks of this fabled Midwestern racing ring. Tonight, he tries to tie a 20-year-old record of 5 in a row. Is he the key master? It is historical, lightning fast, dangerous, competitive, and unique. All these describe where we are tonight. Winchester Speedway in Indiana. The USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars are about ready to roll. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins. What is it they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Well, we had a great scenario lined up for you here tonight. Dave Steele going for 5 in a row. It isn't going to happen. In practice, watch the black car there slide up into the wall. That is Steele. There were other cars involved also. Tony Elliott and George Wilkins will be unable to compete. We're on board with Robbie Rice, who slipped in the oil but was able to drive through. Dave Steele got out of the car. He obviously was uninjured, but the same could not be said about the race car. That's Bob East, the builder and the owner of the car. He surveyed the damage, and it was determined that the damage was too severe. Dave Steele will not be able to compete here tonight. So that 20-year record will still stand. We get more on this from Gary Lee.
Well, Bob, normally the Johnny Vance Aristocrat team out of Dayton, Ohio has a spare car in the backup, in the hauler. Not so tonight. So earlier tonight, I had a chance to talk to David Steele in his street clothes. Not a very happy camper.
Absolutely. I mean, we started out really good. And it's just been downhill slides since beginning of May. It's, you know, it's a reality check. We just need to, you know, try and buckle down and, you know, get back on track.
You were going after a record, trying to tie a record set 20 years ago by Steve Chassie with 5 straight victories. You're in your street clothes. Once you cool off, will you go try to find another ride for the rest of the evening?
I mean, there's not a lot of cars out here that, you know, guys be willing to give up their seat, and you know, I don't blame them for that. So it's just you know, we don't have any spare stuff, which no big deal. I mean, we shouldn't be trying to knock down the wall in warm-ups anyways. So we just have to wait till next time.
Last time we talked to you was at Louisville. Still a little sore at that point after that shunt at Indianapolis. How's the body now?
I'm still a little sore. I'm not back to 100%. That didn't do me no good there. You know, didn't do the car any good either. So it's pretty tore up. So you know, we got another race this Saturday at IRP. I don't know if we'll make it there or not.
Go home and hit the hot tub.
Thanks.
Well, no hot tub. In fact, right now the team is on the way back to the Bobby shop in Indianapolis to go to work on the race car tomorrow morning at 7:30. However, that record still could be challenged because right now there is lightning off to the north. If it comes to the south, this race gets rained out and postponed, he might still have a shot. Another driver caught up in that melee in turn 3, the defending champion, was with Amy East.
Well, Tony Elliott, you're still here. David Steele is left because he knows he has a race car to fix for Saturday at Raceway Park. How extensive was your damage to your car? Because you're obviously not willing to run tonight.
Well, it did quite a bit of work, damage to the front. It did a lot of damage to the back. You know, just one of those unfortunate deals. You know, we had a great race car. The Walker Lane race car was running great, and it just, you know, we had a guy lose the motor and got oil on the racetrack. And, you know, I saw David go in the corner, and he lost it. And, you know, when I tried to get in the brakes, I was already on the oil, and, you know, just got us up in the fence. I mean, it's just a bad deal. You know, we'll be all right. We're getting back and get going again.
Well, we just saw you assessing the front end damage there, and like you said, also damage to the rear. You're 4th in points, and the 3 guys ahead of you are running tonight. What's this going to do to your championship battle for 1999?
Well, it's definitely not going to help us, but, you know, we've got a great race team. The guys have already left to go home to fix our race car, so, you know, we'll come back and just have to work, you know, twice as hard to try to catch up and, you know, get back to the front of this thing.
Okay, we'll see you on the next Thunder, and that was a really tough break for both Tony Elliott and Dave Steele. Larry?
All right, thank you very much, Amy. You know, one of the words I use to describe this place is dangerous, and it's proven itself already. But you know that. You raced here.
I raced here, and all the young guys, they'll say, well, I respect this place, or I pay a lot of attention when I come here. As old guys that are retired, we can say, hey, it scared us. You know, that's just the truth. That's the way it is.
Well, with a couple of major contenders out, let's talk about some of the guys who are going to be in racing here. And here's one of them. It's Brian Newman, and he is probably one of the hottest drivers in USAC, not necessarily the sprints, but certainly in USAC.
He's won 3 in a row, 2 in the midgets, 1 in the Silver Crown car, so he definitely is hot. Hines, he also is very hot. He's won 3 out of the last 5 sprint car races, 1 on pavement, 2 on the dirt, and that's what you have to do in order to win the championship, and I think he's got a good shot at it.
So we have a lot of racing coming up for you here tonight at Winchester, plus we'll have some features on Tracy Hines and Brian Tyler, some highlights from other open-wheel short-track races throughout the country, and a special presentation to Kenneth Nichols, injured earlier this year at Phoenix.
Have you been there? Where water and time find their canvas? Where dreams and flowers bloom? Where beyond each horizon lies another? The land offers an open, eternal invitation to roam, explore, wonder. There are amazing things here and there, which is why we try, in little ways, to protect it. Just something to think about the next time you need fuel.
If you're not talking to your kids about drugs, who do you think is?
And what do you think they're saying?
Be the voice they listen to.
Talk to your kids about drugs and alcohol. Talk,
listen.
Stay involved.
I'll be at the office.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my back.
Here, try this. You crazy, you'll blow his cover. Use sports cream. Get all the pain relief without the medicine odor.
Have a seat. Office. At Circuit City, we have everything you need for your computer.
From software and hardware to printers, high-speed modems, memory, or you can design your own system.
Right now at Circuit City, get rebates from $500 to $300 on great top brands throughout the store. Save $250 on this compact computer with 15-inch monitor and color printer, now just $729.99 after rebates. Don't miss the savings in every department. Right now at Circuit City.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on, wipe it off. No rubbing, no buffing. New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. New Finish.
Available at True Value, Advance Auto, Pep Boys, AutoZone, Walgreens, Kmart, and other leading stores.
ESPN Speed World coverage of Thunder from Winchester, Indiana is being brought to you by Daytona, USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. Getting set for our first heat race of the evening here this evening. We will have 3 8-lap heats with the top 5 automatically transferring to the feature, a 12-lap semi, and all 7 transfer. 30 laps of racing in the feature tonight. The win challenge is worth $4,000. And you can see the cars are lined up for heat race number 1. Let's take a look at the lineup. On the pole will be Gordon Rogers from Winton, California, and alongside will be Brett Poole in car number 9. Second row, Robbie Rice in number 22 and Jimmy McCune in 50. The third row, Ryan Newman in number 10 and Brian Tyler in 75. And in the last row, on the inside will be Ed Kennens in number 35 and Brad Armstrong in number 99. So they should be going green next time around for 8 laps of competition.
Yeah, Brad Armstrong qualified very well, but had to go to the back of the pack because he didn't get started right as quick as everybody else did. There you're riding along with Robbie Rice. You can see that he's a relative newcomer in this pavement thing, but he's qualified very well at 10th spot.
That's a thrilled dad to see him running these banks at 144 miles an hour was the trap speed at the end of the straightaway here in qualifying. Unbelievable.
That's very, very fast. That's what this place has always been known for, though. The speed is what makes the people come here, and even though it's a little scary sometimes, it brings people out.
Down for the green flag, and we're underway with heat race number 1. That is Gordon Rogers jumping out to the lead with Poole dropping into second position. McCune is third as those 3 cars separate themselves a little bit from the rest of the field. look at Brian Tyler, that yellow car up on top, and also Brad Armstrong. They both got by Robbie Rice, and so Robbie is running back in about 6th position.
Somebody bottomed out up there. Sparks flying everywhere. Guys trying to maneuver through that front corner. Right now, looks like Gordon Rogers pulled. Oh, somebody.
That's Ryan Newman way up on top. He was able to get around Robbie, but then got up way high on the racetrack. He saved it, though. Tyler down to the bottom takes over the 3rd spot from Poole.
Well, there goes Brad Armstrong, and it's Brett Poole that's bottoming out. You can see that white number 9 car. It's really bottoming very bad. Oh, we got contact.
Whoa. That is Jimmy McCune, who rubbed wheels with
Gordon
Rogers' car.
And believe me, that's not something you want to do at this racetrack. You just don't want to touch wheels when you're going this fast. It's just very, very dangerous.
Ryan Tyler trying to get the lead away from McCune. He dives off the banking in corner number 2 and runs wheel to wheel with McCune down the backstretch. He's down in that oil dry. That's where the oil was laid down by Wilkins' blown engine earlier tonight that cost Dave Steele, Tony Elliott, and others. But apparently the oil is dried up because Tyler got traction down there and took the lead.
Yeah, he did a nice job. That's a dangerous move down there with all that oil dry, though, to get down there. You never know whether it's going to stick real well or not. You can see the first 4 cars have pulled up a little daylight on everybody else.
Yeah, that's Armstrong there on the left of your screen in the black car. Right behind him is Ryan Newman. They're running 3rd and 4th. The white flag is coming out as we have 1 more lap to go in this first of 3 8-lap heat races. Running back in the 5th position, and the final transfer spot is Robbie Rice. Here they are down the backstretch for the final time. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as Brian Tyler is going to win this race with ease. There's the checkered flag. We'll watch the battle for positions on back. It is McCune, Armstrong, and then Ryan Newman, followed by Robbie Rice. So those 5 are going to automatically transfer to the 12-lap semi-feature coming up a little bit later here tonight.
Yes, and he did a great job. Tyler did a very nice job. He was quick in qualifying. He's got that car really dialed in, and I think he's doing a heck of a job here at Winchester, and he actually likes this place.
But now look at McCune down on the bottom, slide up and make contact with Gordon Rogers. Oh, that could have been a lot more serious than it turned out.
Gordon Rogers did a terrific job catching the car. Brian Tyler did a great job as he was closing on them very fast, getting on the brakes and not running over them. When your closing speed is as fast as it was right there, Tyler was definitely paying attention.
And so the former sprint car champion wins here at Winchester in the first 8-lap heat race. McCune 2nd, followed by Armstrong, Newman, and Rice. Back with more in just a moment.
When precision, quality, and speed count, depend on Craftsman. When you need the power of a wrench with the speed of a ratchet, reach for the Craftsman Quick Wrench. The Craftsman Quick Wrench's unique open-end design lets you ratchet around fasteners. There's no need to reposition. Every quick wrench is up to 30% longer than conventional wrenches. That means extra leverage, more torque, and extended reach for tight spaces. Like other Craftsman hand tools, the Quick Wrench is guaranteed forever. Craftsman makes anything possible.
You're feeling a lot of love right now.
They love me.
For that car insurance company that saved you some money. But when you run into trouble, will they still love you? Not. At Progressive, we give you incredible service that even those, expensive insurance companies can't touch. And people like our low prices so much, 60,000 drivers a week choose Progressive. So call Progressive now and see why all those other drivers are starting a, relationship with us.
They love me.
ESPN Sports Century's 50 greatest athletes. His statistics spoke for themselves. Over 40,000 yards passing, 290 touchdowns, and 3 Player of the Year awards. But a former teammate described him best. What made him special was his uncanny instinct for calling the right play, his icy composure, his fierce competitiveness, and his utter disregard for his own safety. Sports Century athlete number 32, Johnny Unitas. Friday at 10:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
There are your top 5 finishers in the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Heat Race here at Winchester Speedway. Tyler, McCune, Armstrong, Newman, and Rice. Those 5 will only race now in the feature. Gary Lee is in victory lane.
Well, the Turbines Incorporated Fast Qualifier is Brian Tyler. He wins the first heat race. Last time we saw this guy in this car, it was up against the fence at Anderson. That was about $3,000 or $4,000 worth of damage ago.
Yeah, it was. We had kind of a rough night that night, but I got to thank Honda and 3M and Tonka for coming on the board. right now I think I got the ultimate Tonka toy.
Right now you had to hold your breath down there because the guys right out in front of you made contact. You had to be thinking, hey, where are you guys going?
Yeah, we did. Once they touched wheels, I thought, oh boy, here we go again. You know, we're going to get another front axle and rear end and stuff. But actually, they did a good job of holding it to their lines and getting them straightened back out. And, you know, I was able to get underneath them and take her to the wind.
We have had a lot of oil on this racetrack tonight. Just how slick is it?
The track's really slick. I don't know if it's so much the oil that's been laid down tonight, but the last couple days with the temperature the way it's been, I think it's actually baked some oil out of it because we really haven't had any hard rains here to wash the old rubber off and, you know, some of the old fluids from before.
Well, you're fifth in the point standings coming in, and Bob, he's looking to up that just a bit tonight.
Always runs well here at Winchester, and he has done very well in the first heat race of the evening. It's Fan Appreciation Night here at Winchester, Indiana, and this facility here at Winchester was busy last weekend as the USAC MCI WorldCom National Midget Cars raced with 5 different leaders during the main event. Tracy Hines started from the pole for the 50-lap feature and led the race's first 3 circuits. Outside front row starter Tony Ave then made a move on Hines down low. The 2 ran side by side through the banking with Ave taking over the top spot. Following a caution for a Mark Boy spin, watch the white 33 of Dan Drynan move past Hines for second and then under Ave for the lead. 7th fastest qualifier Sarah Fisher found herself facing the wrong way in turn 2. She would finish 20th. Dave Steele apparently was paying attention to Drynan's earlier restart maneuver as he pulled off the same feat, clearing both Hines and Drynan and taking over the top spot on lap 16. A few laps later, Drynan was under attack from cars of his own design as Ryan Newman and Ricky Shelton were moving up. That's Shelton getting sideways and losing his spot to Jay Drake. With 15 laps to go, fast qualifier Newman made his assault on leader Steele. Using the high side to his advantage, Newman rocketed around Steele and never looked back, recording his 2nd straight national midget car win, going into next week's ESPN2 televised event at Anderson. And that is one of the premier midget tracks in the country at Anderson, Indiana. A quarter-mile high bank track. We'll be there for the USAC Midgets car at 10 o'clock now, Eastern Time next Thursday. So be with us for the USAC Thunder Boys. Well, Thunder Boy is here tonight along with the Good Crown. $6 it costs to get in here tonight. A real bargain, a lot of racing and fan appreciation night here at Winchester, Indiana Speedway. All right, well, we're getting set now for the 2nd heat race. On the pole will be Scott Hull in 5T, Kevin Miller alongside in 21M. Derek Davidson has the 3rd starting position in 62 with number 69 Dave Darlin beside him. 3rd row is Brian Gerster in 26 and Tracy Hines in 51, and Sam Stockin in 1X will start in the 7th position.
Yeah, the 2 guys on the front row, Scott Hall and Kevin Miller, both are relatively new to pavement racing as well. I know Kevin Miller just started this year. This is probably his 5th time out. I don't think Scott Hall's got a lot more experience than that. So those 2 guys are going to be under attack for some guys behind them that really do have a lot of experience, including that bright yellow car back there that Tracy Hines is running. You look for him to run through there very quickly, but Brian Gerster in that red car right beside him, he's been very, very fast and done very well at this racetrack in the past.
Indeed, he qualified well tonight, so there are your 7 cars that are set to go for 8 laps of racing. We have an onboard camera with Tracy Hines starting back there in the 3rd row. It's a slow start. The pole sitter just did not go when the green flag dropped, and so he already falls back to 3rd spot as Hull now is way back to 6th, and obviously a problem with that car. Up front as they race into turn number 4, the leader of the race is Dave Darlin. Tracy Hines already up to 2nd position. That's Miller in number 21, and then Davidson.
Yeah, you can see that Tracy Hines didn't waste any time. There's their teammates, Davidson and Brian Gerster, running right behind Kevin Miller. It looks like Davidson right now trying to get down underneath him, but you have to kind of diamond off this place in order to get a run on the guy. Look at Tracy Hines. He is all over Dave Darlin.
Giving Dave Darlin a good run for his money down the backstretch. Darlin at one time was known as a dirt track specialist, but He has had great success on the pavement recently, and Hines got a little bit low in the corner. The car got sideways, and that allowed Darlin to keep the lead and, in fact, stretch it out a couple of car lengths.
Well, on this racetrack, if you go up on the bank and you run down the bank coming off, it's helping push you down the racetrack, giving a lot more straightaway speed. But when you go clear to the bottom of the racetrack, you're actually going uphill, which takes horsepower and slows the race car down. That's why it's very difficult to go right to the very bottom all the way around and make that pass coming off of any corner.
And once again, Hines tries for the bottom line, but it just is not the fast way around as Darlin continues to hang on to the lead. Running in third position is Davidson. Gerster is fourth, and Miller in the fifth spot. But the really best battle on the racetrack is right up here in front. Again, Hines down to the low side, and nope, it didn't work that time either.
You're scrubbing off way too much speed clear on the bottom of the racetrack if the guy has any kind of a run off the corner at all. And right now, Dave Darlin looks to be pretty fast getting in. Slow right in the middle, that's where Hines catches it, and then he takes off again, as you can see right there. Right in the middle of the corner is where Hines is really much faster right now.
Darlin is currently the points leader in the USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint cars. He's got a half a lap to go, and he's going to record a heat race victory here tonight. Hines has got one last opportunity to do the job. He will not do it. Dave Darlin wins heat race number 2 with Hines finishing in second. Then comes Davidson. Gerster will finish in fourth position as they come down for fifth. It's Kevin Miller beating out Scott Hall. So those 5, again, are your transferees. Well, a nice job there by Dave Darlin and a gallant battle by Tracy Hines, but Hines just didn't have quite enough.
No, he didn't. He tried everything on both sides, just couldn't quite do it.
So the second heat race is over. We'll be back to talk with Dave Darlin when we return to Winchester, Indiana.
There are at least 100 questions every home buyer should ask. Like, how much down payment do I need? Can I buy a $200,000 home with an FHA loan? Do I really need homeowners insurance? Luckily, HUD's FHA has the answers. We've helped 25 million Americans buy a home. Call for our free brochure.
Don't try this with Gojo or Fast Orange. Only new Kestrel Super Clean Hand Cleaner removes dirt and grease without water and without towels. Maybe those other cleaners should throw in the towel. New Super Clean Hand Cleaner.
Twist it, turn it, any way you want it, anywhere you want it to go.
Goes where you want it.
Move it up high, baby, you can move it down low.
Stays where you put it. The flexible shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
Ever wonder why men seem to disappear whenever they go shopping with you? Well, Radio Shack did a nationwide survey of men to see what grabs them most. Not surprisingly, it turned out to be electronics, like the gifts we have on sale for Father's Day right now. This survey proved it. We have what men are attracted to. For Father's Day, it's Radio Shack, the place that has great gifts all year for men and women.
All weekend long, all kinds of racing. The race is on ESPN2. If it goes fast and looks cool, the race is on ESPN2.
Dave Darlin wins the second heat race here at Winchester tonight in the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series. Tracy Hines a close second. Derek Davidson, Brian Gerster, and Kevin Miller round out the top 5. Again, down to Gary Lee.
You know, not bad for an old dirt tracker. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. The guys got the car working real good, and I think it comes back to all that Whiteland Raceway experience that I get down there at Gary Lee's place.
Well, you know, you had a pretty darn good race driver breathing down your neck, and you were telling me you really concentrated on that line, keeping in the groove.
Yeah, I seen Tracy in the nose of Tracy's car a couple times up on the inside of me there, and but you know, the high line is the fast way around here, and I figured if I could just get in the corner deep enough and not get the back end loose anywhere through the corner, I should be able to stay ahead of him. But you know, no guarantees, but it worked out pretty good. So
you're leading the point standings, and you know, now you've been a Silver Bullet champion. To win this championship, you have to do well in a place like Winchester and Salem and some big pavement tracks.
Yeah, just like Derek Davison, you know, he's fast everywhere we go, but he's had a couple problems, and it's really hurt him in the points. So, but we've been haven't won any races yet, but we've been consistently up front, so we're leading the points, and I'd like to win the points, but I'd like to win a few of these races, too.
This was your first win of any kind at Winchester, so winning the feature could really boost that points championship.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, like you say, this is our first win here. It did happen to just be a heat race, but we'll start there and hopefully work our way up to the feature one of these days.
Well, a guy that has won 3 times so far this season was breathing down your neck, and he's with Amy.
Tracy, you repeatedly, lap after lap, ran that low line in the turns. I know you know better than that. You know diamonding off that turn is going to give you more speed. What happened? Why weren't you trying to take Dave Darlin on the outside?
Well, every time I try to run in deep, something's wrong with the steering. I go in, and I'm turning the wheel. I'm out of stroke on my hands. So I keep thinking it's a push. I keep coming in and telling them it's a push, but then we get it too loose. There's something wrong with the steering box where it's winding up. And once it finally grabs, the torsion bar inside the box will spin the car, and it turns the whole thing too far.
Okay, so what do you do at this point? I know you don't want to have a tight car at Winchester because you can't run a feature with a tight car. You'll have no front tires by the end of the race. Right. But you don't want to be too loose and back it into the wall. What's your team going to do to get you right for the feature?
Well, right now we're going to have to work on the steering, Amy. It's not so much the car's tight. At first, that's what I was thinking. The car's tight, the car's tight. But if it's in the steering box and it's making me in hands feel tight, but the tire's not showing it, I think our car's good. We just need to get the steering box to turn, then we'll go from there.
Okay, there's no doubt, Larry and Bob, that Tracy Hines wants to have a comfortable car because at Winchester, you want to make sure you can steer.
Yeah, and to have good brakes as far as I'm concerned.
That's exactly right. 2 important things, steering and brakes. More important than horsepower a lot of times here, let me tell you.
That's right. Well, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series gets back into action this Friday night at Texas Motor Speedway. While you take a look at some of the action from past races at Texas, let me remind you of some of the scenarios from last weekend at Bristol. Jimmy Hensley penalized for a little bit of rough driving. Almost a fist fight between Mike Wallace and Jay Sauter. In general, just another highly competitive race in the Truck Series. Friday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, Pronto Auto Parts 400 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with Dave Burns, Amy, Marty Reed, and her old friend, BP. We'll be right back.
We asked a professional race car driver to test our Firehawk SH30 high-performance tires with Unity. Unity, the ultimate tire technology we've spent years perfecting. In fact, when it comes to designing performance tires for wet cornering, we've been around the block. The Firestone Firehawk SH30 with Unity. Get a grip on wet cornering.
Buy 4 Firestone tires with Unity and get a $35 gift certificate from Target stores.
With Days Inn hotels in over 1,800 cities and towns, finding a place to stay doesn't take a federal investigation. Days Inn, there you go.
Cineburst with flavor crystals keeps on going chew after chew. It could be the taste that lasts longer than you. Cineburst, chew till it hurts.
I'm hungry for those good things, baby. I'm hungry through and through. I'm hungry for that sweet life, baby, with a real fine grill like you.
Rust-resistant bodies, rock-solid frames, superior warranties, reliable ignition, and the best cooking systems on Earth. These are the beautiful grills, beautifully built by Charbroil.
Can almost taste it.
Employers know it all comes down to numbers and the cost. From workers' comp to state and federal unemployment taxes, FICA, and the list goes on. Here's the only number you need: 1-888-24-LABOR. That's the number for Labor Ready. With over 650 offices nationwide, they've got the people you need now. Labor Ready can set up your account right over the phone and save you time and money. So for all your temporary labor needs, call Labor Ready today. They've got your number.
Welcome back to ESPN's Thunder Series tonight, live from Winchester Speedway, the Stoops Freightliners Sprint Cars. This is the 12th race of the 1999 USAC Sprint Car season. Dave Darlin has a 42-point advantage on Tracy Hines. Derek Davidson is third in points. Tony Elliott not competing tonight because of the accident. And down through the top 10, there you see Robbie Rice in 8th position, Brian Gerster 7th, Eric Gordon, who will be coming up in this third heat race in just a moment, is also in the top 10. Taking a look at the starting lineup for this third heat race, Matt Jewell, number 18, is on the pole with Bobby Smith and number 8 alongside. Jason McCord in 4C starts third. Mike Blake in 81 flanks him. The third row consists of Billy Puterbaugh in number 7 and Eric Gordon in 21. And Bob Adamson in number 27 has the starting position all alone in row number 4.
Right. I wanted to comment a little bit on what Tracy Hines was talking about. He said the steering was winding up. Two things can happen there. Number one, the shaft itself can just be bending. As you twist it, this metal has gotten old and it just twists and it doesn't really turn the shaft on the wheel. Or the power steering pump itself isn't working strong enough. And so when you turn the car, the wheels just don't turn because the pump isn't working, and it feels like once it takes a hold, then it just jerks the race car. Believe me, both of those situations, either one of them are very, very dangerous here, and you want to get that fixed. So if he can get another steering box or fix that one, that's his best out.
And again, the speeds here are just incredible through the corners and down the straightaway, and that's a problem that you do not want to have. There's Eric Gordon back there in number 21. He starts in the 6th position outside of row number 3. Field just about ready to take the green flag and start the final heat race of the evening. 8 laps of competition. Here we go. Green comes out. Matt Jewell pole center with a bit of a late start as Bobby Smith in the yellow number 8 car grabs the lead. That's Blake in the orange 81 in 3rd position. Here comes Jason McCord in white down the challenge for that 4th position, but we have a caution and we'll start the race again.
Yes, the caution flag. Wallace Shear through the caution flag going down the back straightaway. You saw that's Wallace Shear there, the flagman. He did not like the start coming off of turn 4. They're supposed to be even. So once that happened, he threw the yellow.
And you see him pointing down to the vicinity of turn number 4. Now, why is that?
Well, he wants them not to pick up the throttle. What happened there was Bobby Smith picked up the throttle back in the middle between 3 and 4. He wants them to wait till they get on the straightaway before either one of them pick up the throttle, and then he will give them the green flag.
So we'll try it again. Jewell and Smith, McCord and Blake, Puterbaugh and Gordon, Bob Adamson and number 27 back there in the 4th and final row. Down once again. Again, Jewell does not get a good start this time, even worse than the first time. Are they going to let it go? Yes, they are. No, the caution comes out once again. Eric Gordon apparently did not see it as he charged to the bottom and shot into the lead, but it's all for naught because we're going to go the 3rd time.
Yeah, that was really worse than the first one. As you watch him coming off here, Scott Hall, I'm not sure he doesn't have a problem because it seems to be like he's trying to pick up the throttle. And look, he's back to the 3rd row already. Bobby Smith and Mike Blake both picked up the throttle pretty much the same, and it looks like they're going to put him clear to the back of the pack and say, you know, if the thing's not running any better than that, well, we'll just put you to the back. And that's what they do. As a matter of fact, they put both of them back there. They put the 1st row now becomes the 3rd row, and that's a bad break for those 2 young guys, but they've got to learn that you need to make start even and straight.
Matt Jewell is a young man from Walcott, Iowa, in his teens. Needs a little bit more experience. So Jason McCord is now on the pole. He gets the advantage going into turn number 1 as Blake is in 2nd. Eric Gordon there battling with Blake for the 2nd position, and Gordon will take it.
Yeah, Eric Gordon got a good run off that corner and moved right on up there. That's Bobby Smith. There's Billy Puterbaugh. He's back there battling with Mike Blake, trying to move into 3rd spot. He had a very good qualifying time. He was 2nd quick, I believe. But he's back there battling right now with Mike Blake, trying to find a way to get around.
Only 3 USAC starts for Billy Puterbaugh this year. A 4th place finish here at Winchester was his best. He does take 3rd spot from Blake. However, the front 2 cars have really taken off, and Jason McCord and Eric Gordon are running all by themselves.
And this is the best battle on the racetrack back here now. This is 4th, 5th, and 6th. One of these guys is not going to qualify. And look at Bobby Smith. He tries the inside. Now he's going to go to the outside as Matt Jewell's trying to get underneath Mike Blake. It looks like Mike Blake's just using up enough racetrack that neither guy can find a way around. Oh, look at Jewell. Went way to the bottom up in the slick stuff. Slid right up in front of Bobby Smith.
Got into that oil dry, and it cost him just a little bit. He maintains the position, however. That is 5th. Smith right now in the yellow number 8 is on the outside looking in. He needs to get up one more position to transfer to the feature. Now a side-by-side battle, Blake and Jewell. Jewell takes the position, and Smith also passes Mike Blake.
Yeah, Mike Blake, once he got up the side of him, he moved over on him a little bit. It looked like Mike Blake just pulled out of the throttle a little bit, and both of them got around when he did that.
And here's the leader of the race, Jason McCord, having no trouble whatsoever. He's got now about a 5 or 6 car advantage on Eric Gordon. There's Eric running in 2nd second spot. So these two guys have really taken off. Closing in on the group, however, is that white car, Billy Puterbaugh Jr. The white flag comes out. One more lap to go. Puterbaugh isn't going to catch him, and in fact, I don't think anybody is going to challenge Jason McCord.
Yeah, but I think Puterbaugh is the fastest car on the racetrack as he caught up. He was a full straightaway behind him, and as the checkered flag falls, he's right behind him.
So they finish in that order. Now we'll look for the transfer positions here as they come down. It will be Jewell and Smith also transferring. Oh, contact after the caution as Jewell and Adamson ran into each other.
Yeah, Bobby Adamson was actually being lapped. He'd been lapped by everybody on the racetrack just about. Jewell got down there underneath him going into turn one. They did make contact. It didn't appear that it was a lot of contact, and it doesn't look like the race car is damaged too much. You can see right here as he just goes down under him. He was closing on him very quickly, and Adamson you know, just slowed down way faster than he thought he was going to slow down. He went up over that left rear wheel. He's actually quite lucky he didn't get upside down, and they were on the brakes. So.
Well, let's hope there's no serious damage to Matt Jewell's car. It appears as Adamson is okay. He's assessing the damage, but it appears okay. Well, the winner of the third and final heat race of the evening is Jason McCord. Back to talk with him in a moment.
Stuart, can I see you in my office, please?
That kid is sick. Hinge is squeaky. Very sick.
Stuart, get in here.
Sure thing, Mr. P.
Stuart, I just opened my Ameritrade account.
Let's light this candle. Let's go to Ameritrade.com. It's easier than falling in love. What do you feel like buying today, Mr. P?
Kmart.
So research it. All this stuff is provided for you free of charge.
No cost.
Yeah, that's synonymous with free.
Looks like a good stock.
Let's buy.
Let's buy 100 shares.
All right, click it in there.
Okay.
How about 500?
100, Stuart.
You feel the excitement? You're about to buy a stock
Okay.
online.
Oh! Fabulous. I'm thrilled. What did that cost me?
$8, my man.
Mike Broker charges me $200 for this
Riding
trade.
the wave of the future, my man. I gotta get a soda.
All right.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Wait a
P.
minute.
I'm having a party on Saturday night if you really want to go.
I'm going to try and get there. Thank
Happy
you, Stuart.
trading.
Thank you.
Rock on.
All right, Stuart.
Call toll-free 800-573-9914 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
A message to the President of the United States of America. Mr. President, the U.S. team is favored to win the Women's World Cup. As leader of our nation, we feel you should really be at the finals July 10th at the Rose Bowl. This number is dedicated solely to taking your call to confirm that you will be there. Thank you, and God bless America.
Women's World Cup starting June 19th on ESPN and ESPN2.
Welcome back to Winchester, ESPN's Thunder Series, live with the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars. Third heat race of the evening is over. There are the 5 that will automatically transfer to the 30-lap feature coming up a little bit later. Gary's with Jason.
A lot of attention being paid to the right front. How'd that car handle out there?
It's definitely better than it was in hot laps and qualifying, Gary. It was pretty slick out there. We qualified, and something was wrong with the car. We made a few changes in it. You know, obviously got a little better, but I don't know if I'm riding the brakes where I got a pad dragging or what, but you know, feel a little better. The car's still got a long way to go to be right.
You made it look easy, though, because you got to start from the pole position when those other 2 guys were sent to the back of the pack, but you didn't qualify so well, about 9th quick overall, which means starting back in the 5th row.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely not what we want. We always want to be in top 6 here, but the first race of the year here, we kind of screwed up qualifying, started 12th, and we were able to get up to like 3rd or 4th until a last lap deal where motor broke. So, you know, I've been around this place a million times. So if we get it right, I feel like we'll be able to get the Hat World car back up towards the front by the end of the feature.
A lot of drivers will tell you they don't like this racetrack. I get the feeling that you like these high bank joints.
Yeah, I do. I grew up around this area, you know, Salem and Winchester, and I love Winchester Speedway. And I like the high bank racetracks. I like them all, but, you know, there's something special about the banks, you know, just growing up watching all my heroes run.
Well, put on a show from the 5th row in that feature.
All right, we'll do, Gary. Thank you.
Jason is from Anderson, Indiana. That's where we'll be next week with Thunder. A reminder that RPM Tonight is on weeknights at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. John Kernan has the nightly report on all the events from the wide world of motorsports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. A special award to Kenneth Nichols when we come back to Thunder.
transmission.
Is that bad?
If you're not asking for a Winch transmission flush, you're asking for trouble.
That's good.
Winch, for longer life and better performance. Call for the Winch dealer nearest you.
Turtle wax. Some people say clear coat cars don't need wax. Clear coat's thinner than the piece of paper. So what protects the clear coat? New Turtle Wax Emerald Series car wax.
Waxing with Emerald Series puts down 4 times the Carnauba wax as the #1 brand, with no powdery residue.
Do your best wax job ever. Turtle Wax Emerald Series.
Emerald Series is the best hard shell finish. Turtle Wax.
For a quick touch-up between wax jobs, get new Emerald Series Premium Detailer.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Father Rick, this is Peter Gammons calling you about the letter. I did not have the time or the lack of decency to ask Tony Gwynn to send you the kidney stone he passed in '97. But thanks for reading my column.
ESPN's Thunder Series from Winchester Speedway in Indiana. The sprint cars being brought to you by Circuit City. Answers in every department. Low prices all over the store. 3 heat races completed here this evening already. We're standing by for the semi-feature, but some of the cars, of course, just competed in that 3rd heat race, so they're getting prepared. That gives us an opportunity to go back down to Gary Lee.
Looks like we're attending a driver's meeting. About half the field here. The other half will be fined $25 apiece, and we'll take the money. Our old buddy Larry Nuber is here with a very special presentation to explain why all these guys are here.
Thank you, Gary. Well, actually, I'm a substitute, too. This is supposed to be David Steele's job, but David had all the thrills he could handle for the night and warm-up, so they're home working on the car. I'm here representing the Win Oil Company that's very proud of its association with open-wheel racing through its Wins Challenge, awards money to winners, to the Winning Spirit Award, which awards money to drivers who have slow qualifying times but still achieve during the night. But also the Roger Holdeman Driver Achievement Award as the fireworks go off. Here at the Fan Appreciation Night, it could be no more appropriate to award the Roger Holdeman Driver Appreciation Award. Annually, that goes to a member of the fraternity based on need, character, spirit, and most of all, having recently overcome adversity. And this year's winner, we're very proud to announce, is Kenny Nichols of Indianapolis, Indiana. He received critical head injuries earlier this year at Phoenix, Arizona on the mile, and he's been in therapy basically daily ever since, and you're well on the road to recovery, aren't you, Kenny?
We're doing real well. The Lord has blessed us, and we're coming back real quick.
Well, this award is a plaque as well as $1,000, and I guess the big question, particularly from your competitors here, is will we see you back on the racetrack?
That all depends on how I do. I've got to get myself back 100%. Then I get back 100%, then we're going to look at it real serious. But I got to get back for the wins, because the wins folks have been super. Well, we've been racing for. It's always been a pleasure to run for them, and been my honor to win a few other dollars. So this is a great honor.
Well, Kenny, thank you very much. Do you miss it, by the way? I know Sandy likes having you home more, but
it's like I told you on the phone. It's awful hard to come watch. I watch these guys, and they do a heck of a good job. I feel like I'll be out there racing with them too, so it's hard to watch it.
Well, thanks also to all the competitors behind us. And Gary, he came through a hailstorm to get here tonight.
Well, the racers take care of their own. Nice to see all you guys down here. Have a great ride tonight. Kenny, nice to see you. Bob, back to you.
Kenneth, of course, was hurt in an accident at Phoenix International Raceway early in this evening, but early in the year, however, but he is doing very, very well. This is what happened. It was at a qualifying race, actually, and Nick Lundgren lost his brakes, slid into Ronnie Johncox, and then he slid into Kenneth Nichols. And as you will see in the replay here, Nichols hit very, very hard on the side of the car, and it created some very tense moments because he was knocked out. There is the impact. And he was knocked out, and in fact spent many weeks in the hospital and is still in rehabilitation, but it certainly is nice to see him back at the racetrack, Larry.
Well, it certainly is. He's been a heck of a racer. He's been around a long time, and I know he appreciates not only the money but the thoughts of all of his friends and racers and anybody else around this part of the country.
Amy, do we have a potential problem with the points leader?
It very well could be, Bob. At the conclusion of heat race number 2, after Dave Darland took the victory, USAC came down and said they thought they saw some spray coming out from the back of his car. Normally, that might be from a seal inside this fuel cap here where they put in the methanol for the tail tank. But when they checked it, and they checked the fluid that was on the side of the tail tank, it was water, not methanol. So they went to the front of the car to try to assess what was going on. They thought the water might come from the fill can for the radiator. But there's a lot of tape at the front of the radiator, and there's no leakage on the front panels. So they're stumped. They have no idea where this fluid's coming from. They really feel like it's not there. So they're going to talk to USAC and see if they can't get this figured out.
Okay, well, we hope he can find the problems and get them corrected. There is Tracy Hines, and a couple of weeks ago, Tracy equaled a feat last accomplished by Tony Stewart back in 1995. That is winning back-to-back USAC sprint car races on dirt and pavement. He's one of many young USAC drivers looking to follow in Stewart's footsteps.
When the green flag drops, all I do is just look at the car ahead of me, and I just keep trying to go.
I think the interesting thing is going to be watch that 51 car and Tracy Hines and see how quickly he can work his way through this pack.
When I walk around the track, I have one intent. I don't even talk to my wife when I'm at the racetrack. I have one intent, and that's to win the race.
Second place belongs to Tracy Hines, and now he sets his sights on the leader of the race, Dave Steele. Oh, Tracy Hines now right on the back of the #1. Now he goes to the outside, tries to make an outside pass once again, wheel to wheel through the corner, but Tracy Hines gets the job done and takes the lead.
I go there and I'll sign the autographs and I'll do what I can for the fans. But my main goal is to not see where somebody's at, not eat a hot dog. It's win the race.
Here comes Hines back on the inside. He makes the pass, and Hines is going to win it by a half a car length. Whoa, what a race.
Well, probably with fire, I would say that is the most scary thing you can have. In the Richmond fire, I didn't know what to expect. When the flames come up in the car, I was a little worried.
You can see Tracy Hines up there on the upper left hand. Watch him just step in the fuel. He steps in it.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
All over the place. And he's running along there. It's his right leg that was on fire as he got down there.
Tracy Hines' car, man, oh man, it is used up. There is nothing left of that machine. The fire at Richmond almost 3 years ago turned out to be a pivotal moment in Tracy's career. With his own car burned to the ground, he was forced to find a ride with another car owner. The first night out, just a week after the Richmond blaze, Tracy won his first ever national USAC race. Hines has been burning up tracks ever since in a variety of vehicles.
I just try to be versatile. I want to be able to jump in whatever vehicle they say that I can run, and I'll try to run. I think the biggest thing, though, that helped me in the last year or two was when I did get into the other divisions, the Silver Crown, the Sprint Car, and the Midgets. I ran more races. I ran more races than anybody in USAC last year, which just put more laps in them. I mean, I ran 60 to 70 shows last year to a guy that may only run 30. So I've got 2 years on his one. I guess if I would go to NASCAR, I'd want to win the Daytona 500. If I end up in the IRL, I'd want to win the Indy 500. But as far as I have nothing that I'm looking forward to in my life other than just having fun and doing what I like. Whether if I've stuck here in midgets and sprint cars all my life, I'll have fun because it's a job that I like to do.
I wasn't ready for it. They told me at Tractor Supply to come see what they changed in the store. Changed? They'd ripped out half the store and put it back new. They got more stuff in there for your shop, truck, your trailer, your everyday jobs than you ever thought possible. Those guys at Tractor Supply got a lot of Texas in them. When they do something, they do it in a big way. So if you've got 1 acre or 1,000, Tractor Supply Company now has more ways to help you get the job done.
Shift into summer and get terrific deals during Sears Summer Tire and Wheel Sale. With thousands of tires in stock, we've got the tire for whatever you drive. Save big on top brands like Michelin, Bridgestone, and Goodyear. Get our best-selling touring tire, the Response RST Touring 2000, for as low as $39.99. And Sears' low price guarantee for tires means we'll match anyone's advertised price. Great tires, low prices at Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
Today's forecast looks fabulous. Nothing but Son, turn up the AC, get out the old sunscreen, trust me. Now to recap, high pressure area means got a trace of moisture.
There are a lot of things you can depend on. Fortunately, there's Wendy's 99-cent super value menu with delicious junior bacon cheeseburgers, cool creamy Frosties, biggie fries, and biggie drinks, all for just 99 cents each every day.
It's gonna be great.
It's nice to have something to depend on.
You like today? By golly, you're gonna love tomorrow.
Don't try this with Gojo or Fast Orange. Only new Castrol Super Clean Hand Cleaner removes dirt and grease without water and without towels. Maybe those other cleaners should throw in the towel. New Super Clean Hand Cleaner.
Wherever your kids want to go this summer, there's a Red Roof Inn nearby. Beaches, theme parks at a price that'll make everybody happy, especially you. Well, I'm lost. Anybody got a map? Call 1-800-THE-ROOF, where kids stay free and save money like you mean it.
The semi feature is being pushed off. 10 laps of racing coming up, and the 7 that are in it will transfer to the feature, so everybody makes it tonight to the big 30-lapper.
Yeah, we want to say hello to Bob Russo. He's a veteran auto rider who's battling cancer out in Covina, California. We all, from ESPN and all of us here at the racetrack, want to wish him well. He's been a great asset to our sport for a long, long time. And we want to say hello to Norm Shields' mom. She's in the hospital. He's one of the USAC officials down here. And we want to wish Bob and Pam Jenkins a happy 31st wedding anniversary. Congratulations. You made it a long time, buddy.
Spending it right where I want to be at a racetrack.
And right where she wants you to be, probably.
That's right. Thank you very much, Larry. Down to Gary.
When we talk about hot USAC drivers, you have to mention the kid from South Bend, Ryan Newman. Now, we saw him win the Silver Bullet contest after starting from the pole and leading every lap last month at Indianapolis Raceway Park. That's his sister, Jamie, with the big hug, and there's Ryan in victory lane. Now, it was the night before the 500. He never blinked under the pressure of Tracy Hines, and he wins for the second time in 3 years. Then just last Sunday here at Winchester was not the fast qualifier, but still came back to take the victory. And it seems like every time we're on the deuce, we run over and we have no time to talk to this guy in victory lane when he wins. So now we're in victory lane. What do you have to say?
Just got to thank all the people that are behind me, my car owners, Dan Drynan, importantly, and also my family. Without my family, I wouldn't have got started in this sport, and that's what my future beholds. So I want to thank you know, Hoosier Tires. They held up awesome all 3 races, and you know, everybody that was behind me, they know who they are. Chuck Lewis, my car owner, Fred Eade, and you know, the Brayton engine with the Midget, and Bob Andrews did the motor for the Champ car there at IRP, and everything just worked awesome.
Now tonight you qualified 4th on the inverted start. You'll start inside the 2nd row, and I imagine that's not a bad place to start here.
That's not the best starting spot, but there's a lot that are worse. So we'll have to, we've made a couple changes after the heat race. We were kind of taking a conservative route in the heat race because there was 5 transferred and we were running 4th, and the guys in front of me were running side by side. So made a couple changes, see what it'll do, and hopefully it'll take it all the way to the front.
Just finished your junior year in engineering at Purdue. What's the grade point?
That's on, what do you call it? Disclosed information.
Hey, what is the future with this Busch car with Mr. Gordon, Mr. Abraham?
That's a test we're doing June 15th. I was just down there this past Monday and Tuesday getting fitted into the car, and we're just going to go and do some testing and learn a little about each other. And you know, everybody says communication and chemistry is so important, so we're going to work on that first.
But will you remember us when you're the next superstar?
Hopefully I won't forget anything, so I'll remember everybody.
Let's go back to the booth and go racing the semi.
And Ryan, of course, ran well in his heat race and is preparing for the feature. We've got 6 drivers that are yet to make it. Here is the lineup for the semi. Mike Blake on the pole, Scott Hull alongside. In the 2nd row, Gordon Rogers and Brett Poole. Row number 3, Sam Stocken and Bob Adamson. And Ed Kinnons in number 35. It looks as if Adamson will not be able to compete, so 6 cars. Kinnons will be on the outside of row number 3.
Yeah, Adamson was involved in that crash after the checker flag, and he never did get his car fixed, so he's not going to make it. It looks like the inside guys are having a heck of a time getting a start. That time, Mike Blake, who you remember got a great start on the outside of the last, that one race, he got a terrible start again this time, and Hull jumped into the lead.
And they're going to let it go, so Blake now moves up to challenge. Didn't get a good start, but the car is running okay right now. Hull is the leader, followed by Mike Blake, then Rogers, then Poole, and then Sam Stockton. First four cars running pretty close together as Blake continues the challenge of Scott Hall.
Yeah, Scott Hall, like we said earlier, does not have a lot of experience on the pavement. On the other hand, Mike Blake runs a lot of pavement races. He runs a lot with a wing, though. He only runs a few of these USAC non-wing races. Most of the time he spins up in the Michigan area with a wing on his race car, and he does quite well in that area.
Scott Hall has made 4 starts in USAC competition this year. His best finish was here at Winchester, finishing in 15th position.
And there goes Mike Blake. Scott Hall got a little bit sideways as Mike Blake got down on the inside of him. He saved the race car, got it going straight again, but Mike Blake took advantage of that little bobble and went into the lead.
And now third place Gordon Rogers moves in on Hull as
Gordon Rogers got a little bit sideways going over that tunnel. There's a tunnel going into turn 1. If you get over that tunnel on the brakes, it'll set your car sideways, and I think that's what happened to Gordon Rogers right there.
There you see Blake leading the race. Hall running in second position. Mike Blake is from Indianapolis. He's made 3 USAC sprint car starts this year. His best finish was 17th at Salem. This is a 10-lap event, and again, all the drivers in this race are going to qualify for the feature. There will be 21 cars in the 30-lapper. Blake now stretches it out just a little bit over the Scott Hall car.
Yeah, it looks like Scott, when Scott gets a good corner, he catches back up with Blake, and then he looks like he makes a little mistake and he loses a little bit. So I think he's still learning a little bit about the race car and the racetrack. And the last lap or so, he's actually caught up with Mike Blake. He's got a terrific sponsor with Tonka Toys, one of the best sponsors on the circuit, actually.
Blake, 2 career Pennzoil Outlaw wing sprint car victories in his career, is looking at a possible victory here in the last chance race. Next time around, they'll get the white flag indicating 1 more lap to go. So the top 3 still running pretty close together, and there's a long stretch of racetrack before we get back to the 4th place competitor, who is Poole. Here's the white flag, 1 to go. It is Blake, Hull, and Rogers for 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and Gordon Rogers, he first came back here last year and tried the pavement thing, and it wasn't very successful, but he's gained a lot here in the last year himself and doing much better.
And that's the way they're going to finish. Blake, Hull, and Gordon Rogers for 2nd and 3rd. 4th place belongs to Brett Poole. And finishing in the 5th position will be Sam Stockton, and Ed Kins will finish in 6th place. So there you have the final preliminary event of the evening. Now a little bit of a break while everybody prepares for the 30-lap feature. Come back with us in just a moment to Winchester.
Shift into summer and get terrific deals during Sears Summer Tire and Wheel Sale. With thousands of tires in stock, we've got the tire for whatever you drive. Save big on top brands like Michelin, Bridgestone, and Goodyear. Get our best-selling touring tire, the Response RST Touring 2000, for as low as $39.99. And Sears' low price guarantee for tires means we'll match anyone's advertised price. Great tires, low prices at Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
And here's the pitch. Leaving the right field, Robinson is back.
Possum, rabbit, convertible.
Nothing drives like a Hummer. And right now, during Napa's big sale days, you can win a $19.99 Hummer, a 52-inch RCA TV, or one of over 6,000 Coleman coolers. Plus, save on hundreds of items. Stop by a participating Napa Auto Parts store today.
Every one of Circuit City's camcorders comes with a guaranteed low price and something extra. Real customer service.
If you have any questions, I'm here to help.
Right now at Circuit City, get rebates from $500 to $300 on great top brands throughout the store. Like this Panasonic compact VHS camcorder with image stabilization for jitter-free recording. Now only $599.99 before rebate. Don't miss the savings in every department. Right now at Circuit City.
Night has fallen here at Winchester as the semi-feature is completed for the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars. Mike Blake, Scott Hall, Gordon Rogers, Brett Poole, and Sam Stockton. The top 5 finishers. Gary's in victory lane.
It seems like I've seen this orange 81 car go around Winchester several thousand times, and now we visit with the driver as you climb out here in victory lane. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you, Gary. It was a pretty good ride. We had a few little problems getting around Scott Hall, but we finally kind of braved underneath of him and did a real terrible slide job on him, but Hope it didn't make him too mad at me, but we race together all the time, and I think he'll be all right with it.
Well, I was about to ask you if, in fact, you were going to school on him, because he has very few laps in this racetrack, and you have a ton of them.
Well, he was running a pretty straight line through the corners and fairly low where you couldn't get a big run on him going down the straightaways, and I tried to dime in the corners, and my car was pushing a little bit, and I couldn't get enough momentum to get off of him and come down the back straightaway.
What changes will you make to car 81 before the feature?
Right now, I think we'll just make some air pressure changes and try to tighten it up just a little bit and see if we can get the car to doing a little bit better, and hopefully we can go a little bit further forward than what we started.
It's going to be a long race for you, though.
Well, starting 12th, we're not going to be too far back, but like I say, we just trying real hard, and hopefully we can get a good show tonight.
Let's go on a pit road to Amy East.
Well, speaking of diamonding off the turns, two guys that in Winchester's history was awesome at doing it, and that was Doug Coletta and Brian Tyler. And Brian, I haven't seen you run up on the banks here tonight. What kind of changes are you going to make for the feature to get some more speed in the turns?
Well, in the heat race, we had a used right rear on the car, so that, you know, the left rear was overpowering the right rear, got the car a little tight, so, you know, he was a little afraid to get too far up the bank. But, you know, there's been a lot of races here, a lot of floor dry down. There's a lot of rubber and oil dry and stuff up there. You know, you can see it when we get up there. There's a little dust that gets kicked up. You know, that's kind of keeping some guys off the fence, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we don't get up there during the feature.
Oh, he'll be up there, you guys, and he'll be really exciting in tonight's feature event.
No question, one of the most versatile drivers who is in the USAC ranks. He's proven his ability in several series, the Silver Bullet Series, Sprint Cars, Pep Boys Indy Racing League, and he's from a family which has deep racing roots.
My brother's actually the one that got this whole ordeal started. He, when he graduated from high school, he bought an old, what they call a Butler Modified, and begun racing. He come dragging it home. The old man told him he was crazy, and, you know, that he didn't need to be racing. And that didn't take long that Dad was involved, and my mom and Dad have been behind me my whole career. My brother's helped me out a bunch. You know, my sister comes to all the races. You know, it's been a family involvement from the beginning.
Out to pick up his first ever USAC win. A big wave from the cockpit. He takes the victory. Tyler with a very productive drive from Michigan. And I tell you what, he is going to be very happy in the interview with Dave Despain in Victory Lane.
Oh, it feels great. I couldn't be more happier if I'd won Indy, I don't think.
Well, I'll tell you, maybe it's a step in that direction.
Ever since I was a little kid and knew what racing was, you know, I've watched the Indy 500 for, you know, all them years. And, you know, I've always dreamed, man, I'd like to run an Indy car. You know, I finally got my chance to do it. I got to turn a few laps at the Speedway and stuff last year, which was really exciting. You know, your heart just pounding when you're going down the front chute for the first time. But, you know, I was known the first year as kind of they said a dirt specialist, and I went pretty good on pavement. Second year, I was a pavement specialist, and, you know, we kicked off Speed Week the very first night, winning Lawrenceburg, you know, running seconds, thirds, you know, in the top 5 just about every night. You know, then everybody started looking at him going, well, wait a minute, maybe you can drive the dirt too. You know, and then they see me pop up in the Silver Crown cars, and then and then I might be running a wing show at Eldor, or, you know, a dirt late model ride, or, you know, I just started popping up all over, and people started realizing then that, you know, I was pretty versatile to jump from one car to the other, and, you know, doing it out of my own pocket this year, you know, all my savings I've saved all my life, you know, I pretty much tapped it right out getting ready for the year, buying 2 new cars, you know, wheels, shocks, the whole truck, trailer, you know, so hopefully something comes along, but I don't know if we're going to run for championship or not. You know, it depends on what happens with me in the IRL, but, you know, we may go for a 3rd one. You never can tell.
Two-time sprint car champion Brian Tyler getting set for the 30-lap main event here this evening. Lawrenceburg is a dirt track located down in southern Indiana, and Brian has run very well at that facility, and that's where the USAC sprints were most recently in action prior to tonight. As the crowd here looks on and gets ready for the 30-lap feature race. That race last weekend in Lawrenceburg was named in honor of a fallen champion. It was also the Robbie Stanley Classic, and a full house was on hand. The action started in Heat 2 when Jay Drake spun in turn 3. Justin Marble clipped the front wheels and took a wild flip, coming to rest upside down. A wobbly but unhurt Marble climbed out minutes later. Heat 2 winner Kevin Briscoe started the 30-lap feature on the inverted pole with fast qualifier and series points leader Dave Darland in the white number 69 going off 6th. At the green, outside pole sitter Kent Christian jumped out front, but in just one circuit of the quarter-mile oval, Darland moved all the way from 6th into a lead that he would hold for 13 laps. At the suggestion of some tire reps, several point-contending teams ran a softer compound, Darland being one of them. On a harder compound, Briscoe caught and passed Darland on lap number 15. As Darland faded back to 3rd and out of contention, the biggest surprise of the night turned out to be the number 14, Hud Cone, who had started 16th but also chose the hard compound. He gave Briscoe a swapping 2-lap run to a photo finish at the checkered flag. Briscoe took his first USAC feature win since July of 1997 at Paragon. So Kevin Briscoe, the winner there on the dirt. He is not among those competing here tonight on the pavement at Winchester, Indiana Speedway. And it's our pleasure to come here once again to this storied facility here in the eastern part of Indiana, a track that goes back a long, long way.
Well, this place has been around, like you said, a long, long time. It's a beautiful racetrack. The new owners here have done a terrific job cleaning this place up, and they've got a terrific crowd tonight. I'm really surprised on a Wednesday night.
Fan appreciation night, and the fans appreciate the good racing that we've seen so far, and we've got more coming up and more highlights coming up when we return.
Hi, Dan. Hey, what are you working on? I'm installing my new Dale Earnhardt tag. Hey, it looks great. That's nothing. Wait till you see this. It lights up when I turn on the headlights. Man, this thing is really bright. Is it hard to install? No. One wire connects to the parking lights, the other goes to the ground. That's all there is to it.
Bill, check out my Jeff Gordon tag.
I have got to get one of these. What do you do in a state where they require a front license plate? Easy. All you do is order the suction cup kit, hang it in your back window, plug it into your cigarette lighter, and away you go. Order your Carglaw tag now for only $29.95. Call 1-800-443-5026. Use Visa, MasterCard, or money order. Call now while supplies last. Available NASCAR drivers are Terry and Bobby Labonte, Dale Jr., Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Burton, and more. Call 1-800-443-5026 for your Carglaw tag. And check us out on the web at carglaw.com. Operators are standing by.
Ladies and gentlemen, start lining up your favorite drivers.
ESPN Classic presents 3 ways to cure your nasty slice. 1, lessons from a pro. 2, advice from a caddy named Cheech. Or 3, you can watch Arnie, Jack, Lee, Curtis, Payne, and Tom do it on the ESPN Classic U.S. Open Golf Marathon. To get ESPN Classic, call your cable operator or satellite provider for the great shots, the clutch putts, the best duels from U.S. Opens past. A slice of the best. Saturday and Sunday only on ESPN Classic. Call your cable operator.
We continue our countdown of the 50 greatest athletes presented by General Motors this Friday at 10:30 Eastern Time on Sports Century. Number 32 coming up this week. A salute to Johnny Unitas of the Baltimore Colts. Join us at Friday night at 10:30 Eastern Time. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Well, they continue to prepare cars for the feature race coming up here in just a few moments for the Stoops Freightliner Series, and you can see that we have some late models out there running some races as the drivers and crews prepare for the sprint car feature coming up. Well, there's been lots of activity on the short tracks around the country. And, you know, one of the places that we're going to show highlights of here in the next few minutes is Irwindale, and we're going to be there later in the year.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing on the West Coast this time of year as well as in the winter, and Irwindale is going to be it is a brand new facility, and it's beautiful.
That's where we're going to wrap up our Thunder Series for 1999 later this year. Well, one location, but a couple of different divisions were running, the sprint cars and the TQs in Irwindale last weekend. We start things off with the TQs. Now, these cars ran the quarter-mile track. You'll see the half-mile a little bit later. Pole sitter Tony Valelli and Kevin Wabinga ran side-by-side for the entire first lap until coming down the main straightaway, Valelli grabbed control. Just 5 laps in, Randy Pankratz, the daughter of Midget car veteran Wally, makes her move down low for the top spot. On the restart after a late spin, 8th place starter Greg Edenholm got a great jump and passed Pankratz for the point. He held on for the final 2 laps to pick up the victory. USAC's Western Sprint Cars took to the half-mile for their 30-lap main event, with Bobby Graham leading the field for the first 5 circuits. The points leader and fast qualifier Bud Kading grabbed the top spot from Graham in turn 1 on the 6th lap. The third-generation driver had his hands full in traffic, making some daring moves to maintain his lead. Bud held on to record his 3rd straight Irwindale win, and afterwards talked about a unique feature of USAC's Western Sprint Car Series: radios.
My spotter was in my ear telling me how the guy that was in second was kind of closing, and in actuality he wasn't. You know, my spotter was just trying to get me to go, you know, and not lag behind. So tonight was really, really good, and not as good as last time, but hey, we'll take it.
There are the results of the Western States Midgets at Bakersfield on Saturday. Jimmy Sills was the winner. Shane Scully second, followed by Scott Hale, A.J. Johnson, and Mark DeBeaumont. We showed you Randy Pankratz. How about this? She is on top of the point standings in the USAC TQ Midget car points by about 24 over Joshua Wise. So Wally's daughter is a chip off the old block, shall we say.
She's doing a terrific job out there. She's run a few midget races. She is doing very, very well. She ran second in that race, but she is leading the point standings, and that's tough for anybody.
You know, it's kind of unique to have a racetrack like Irwindale when you can run the TQs and some of the smaller cars on the quarter mile, and then you've got the half mile to run the bigger cars.
That's kind of a state-of-the-art facility. I mean, they built that thing. They knew what they were doing. They knew what their objectives were, and I think they succeeded very well in building a first-class operation.
Well, let's check out some more California action. Action of a different nature. Northern California, Santa Maria Speedway playing host to round 4 of the NARC Budweiser 1999 Golden State Challenge Series. Aussie Peter Murphy got the evening started by turning the quickest qualifying laps ever in NARC's 35-year history at Santa Maria. The eventful evening continued in the second heat race as Greg DeCaris and Mike Quigley made contact at the start, tipping DeCaris up and over on the front stretch. DeCaris was okay and did return for the semi-main. Blake Robertson started on the pole in the 30-lap feature and jumped out in front to lead the first 5 laps. Robertson's evening ended abruptly, though, on lap 6 when he ran up over the right rear of Ryan Coelho. The contact shot Robertson up and into the wall. He was uninjured, but also a little unhappy as he climbed out of his car to share some words with Coelho. As a result of the incident, defending Golden State Challenge champion Randy Hannigan inherited the lead. On lap 9, as Hannigan surged through lap traffic, rookie Terry Cox got too high coming out of turn 3 and went flying into the fence. As it turned out, the fence took most of the damage as Cox was able to restart. In the end, it came down to Hannigan and NARC points leader Brent Kading. The two put on a great show in the final 5 laps as they raced through traffic, battling for the lead. Hannigan was able to hold off Kading and took the checkered flag for his second Golden State Challenge win and 5th overall NARC feature victory of the season. They love their wing sprint cars out in Northern California and have some very good drivers that run in that series.
Well, they certainly do. A lot of them have graduated to the world of outlaws, and some of their guys like Kading and Hannigan, they still do it once in a while, but they just don't travel the whole circuit with the world of outlaws now.
And speaking of chips off old blocks, we saw Bud Kading there win, and Brent Kading is still hanging in there.
He still does a very good job. You don't want to go to a race out there and count him out, believe me.
That's for sure. Okay, how about some more dirt track action, this time a little bit closer to where we are. The 16th Street Speedway in Indianapolis, a regional event last Saturday night. Lots of cars, lots of talented drivers, and as usual, an abundance of action. So what happens when the leader of a 9-car heat spins? How about an 8-car pileup with everyone escaping injury? More trouble in the semi. After John Sluss lost a wheel, Michael Bridges ended his first night of racing at 16th Street upside down. Moving to the 30-lap feature, 18-year-old A.J. Fike started from the pole, but veteran Roy Carruthers alongside was first to the corner. The man on the move was Donnie Beechler in the black 15. After disposing of the number 3 of Andy Pierce for the runner-up spot, Beechler set his sights on Carruthers for the lead. Going into turn number 3, the two-touch taking Donnie and Andy out of contention. After the restart, it was 10th place starter Ron Smoker applying the pressure to Carruthers.
Though Roy battled back, he could not catch the former New York dirt modified standout, who picked up his first 16th Street Midget car win of the year.
Well, that brings you up to date on a lot that has happened this past week in short track open wheel activity. This coming week, the Coors Light Silver Bullet Series runs at Terre Haute. Stoops Freightliners sprint cars are at IRP. The Western Sprint and Midget cars at Tucson Raceway Park, where we do winter heat in the late models. Next Wednesday, the Anderson Speedway, we will tape that and air it on Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And the Speedrome Midget cars are also in action next Wednesday night. So that's some of the activity that you can see Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Stoops Freightliner sprint cars at Terre Haute for the National Open, co-sanctioned with the SCRA, and a $97,000 total purse for that big weekend of activity at Terre Haute. Standing by for the 30-lap main event here at Winchester in a moment.
Whether you're working out, working hard, or making changes, one thing is for certain. Centrum has your nutrition needs covered. With Centrum, you benefit from what science is discovering about how vitamins and minerals help maintain health, unlock energy, and strengthen immunity. Centrum, always complete from A to Zinc. And Centrum Kids' great new taste is making a splash with new fruit flavors kids love.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on, wipe it off. No rubbing, no buffing. New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. New Finish.
Available at Rite Aid, Ace Hardware, Pep Boys, AutoZone, Walgreens, Kmart, and other leading stores.
There are a few things you need to do to make your home safe for you and your family, like setting your water heater at 120 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent burns, and installing smoke alarms outside of bedrooms. If your home was built before 1978, have it tested for lead-based paints. Did I mention proper wiring?
For a free brochure on HUD's Healthy Homes and to learn how an FHA loan can help you buy a home, just call.
HUD and FHA are on your side.
Two teams, one cup, hockey's ultimate prize. Stanley Cup Finals, Stars, Sabres, Game 3, Saturday at 8, only on ESPN.
Welcome back to Winchester, where you see Brian Gerster is ready for tonight's feature event. He was second quick, and you know what? This team has done nothing but thrash since his second heat race. Brian had a very bad vibration in that heat race. He came in 4th position. So, knowing what had happened at Anderson, they disassembled the entire rear end. They took the tail tank off, pulled out the drive line, and guess what? Found nothing. So, in all actuality, it was probably just a wheel weight, a wheel out of balance that gave Brian that vibration. Extremely frustrated crew, but Brian's going to be on a mission. There's no doubt about that.
Well, actually, I know we're getting ready for the feature here, and Tracy Hines' wife would like to watch him do well in the feature, but the Pacers are playing, and the series all knotted up with the New York Knicks, and we're trying to pick up the game down here. I understand the Pacers are leading by 2, 37-35. So, Bob, Larry, you go ahead and call the race, and I'll kind of listen to you in my headset, and I'll see how the Pacers are doing.
Not only, I'm not sure that his motive here is to watch the Pacer game, but rather sit with the pretty girls down there, don't you think?
I think that might have something to do with it.
And by the way, SportsCenter will follow our telecast here in Winchester, and of course they will have the complete details on how the Pacers are doing against the Knicks. Okay, let's check out the winners in the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series in 1999. Derek Davidson started things off with a win at Eldora in Rossburg, Ohio. We'll have a telecast from there later in the year. Dave Steele, of course, won here at Winchester a couple of times. Bill Rose at Attica. Brian Gerster at Louisville. Tracy Hines now has won the last 3 out of 5 races, with Tony Elliott recording the win at Anderson, and Kevin Briscoe, of course, that we saw a few minutes ago, winning at Lawrenceburg.
Well, the Wins Challenge bonus tonight is $4,000. The drivers that are eligible will be Brian Tyler, Dave Darlin, and Jason McCord. So any of those three guys win tonight, it's an extra $4 grand from Wins. And they also have the Winning Spirit Award. The guys will get $250, Kevin Miller and Bobby Smith. So these guys can all win some extra cash here tonight if they get going.
Ryan Newman is getting set to be pushed off. We saw Brian Tyler is already out there. We'll take another commercial break and get back for the 30-lap feature at Winchester. Stay with us.
We're born inside four walls.
We go to school inside four walls.
We work inside four walls.
Out here, there are no walls.
But there are plenty of sharp corners.
Yamaha, solid thinking for a liquid world.
Goes where you want it. Stays where you put it. The flexible shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
Cineburst with flavor crystals keeps on going chew after chew. It could be the taste that lasts longer than you. Cineburst, chew till it hurts.
I'm hungry for those good things, baby. I'm hungry through and through. I'm hungry for that sweet life, baby, with a real fine grill like you.
Rust-resistant bodies, rock-solid frames, superior warranties, reliable ignition, and the best cooking systems on Earth. These are the beautiful grills, beautifully built by Charbroil.
Almost taste it.
Bob Jenkins, Larry Rice, Gary Lee, and Amy East back at Winchester Speedway in Indiana. It's ESPN's Thunder Series live with the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars. 3 heats and a semi completed in heat race number 1. Jimmy McCune and Gordon Rogers bang wheels, allowing Brian Tyler there in the yellow car to get a bit of an advantage. He later went around McCune and won the race. Here's the best battle of the evening in heat race number 2. Dave Darlin and Tracy Hines went at it for just about all 8 laps, with Darlin winning. The 3rd heat race was won by Jason McCord over Eric Gordon. And after the checkered flag had dropped, that's Matt Jewell banging wheels and stopping down in turn number 1. Here's how they finished in heat race number 1. Armstrong was 3rd, followed by Ryan Newman and Robbie Rice. In the 2nd heat race, Derek Davidson finished 3rd, Gerster was 4th, and Kevin Miller 5th. In the 3rd heat race of the evening, McCord and Gordon were followed by Billy Puterbaugh Jr., Matt Jewell, and Bobby Smith. And the semi-feature tonight, which was run just a few moments ago, Mike Blake beat Scott Hull, Gordon Rogers, Brett Poole, and Sam Stockton.
Yeah, we want to say they're upcoming sprint car races that are coming up. IRP this Saturday night, then the National Dirt Car races down at Terre Haute, and plus Salem, Indiana runs the 20th. So there's about 6 or 7 racing days coming up for these sprint cars in the next week, and it's going to be very exciting, especially the Nationals down there on the dirt track at Terre Haute.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 30-lap main event here tonight. On the pole is going to be the number 21 car of Eric Gordon with Tracy Hines alongside. Second row, Ryan Newman in number 10 and Billy Puterbaugh Jr. in number 7. The third row, 26 Brian Gerster and 75 Brian Tyler. Row number 4, it's Brad Armstrong at 99 and Derek Davidson in 62. The fifth row, 44C of Jason McCord and the 22 of Robbie Rice. Dave Darlin and Mike Blake are occupants of row number 6. The 7th row, Jimmy McCune and Scott Hull. Back in row number 8, it's Matt Jewell and Gordon Rogers. Kevin Miller and Bobby Smith will start back in row number 9. The 10th row, Brett Poole and Sam Stocken. And back in row number 11, it's Ed Kinnons and Bob Adamson. We understand that Derek Davidson, who was supposed to start up in the 8th position outside of row number 4, is going to have to go to the tail because he pulled in after he was pushed off.
The 7 car, Bill Peterball, he's got Jeff Sinden, who owns the car that Robbie Buell ran at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's here helping Billy tonight, so I don't know whether that has anything to do or not. But he was in a Foyt car, actually, but he was in the Sinden car up until the time they blew the motor. The Infinity engine just didn't quite make it to the qualifying line. So Sinden took over that Foyt car. They actually worked on it, crewed it for the race.
Robbie had all kinds of problems during the month with a crash and then a blown engine on his qualifying attempt. And of course, you all recall the story of 45 minutes from stepping into A.J. Foyt's garage, getting the car prepared, and putting it in the race. Quite a job for Robbie Buell.
I want to say hi to G&K Services. They brought a whole busload of people up here from Indianapolis. We thank them for attending. And Landon and Leighton Mueller from Mooresville, Missouri. They want to say hi to everybody back in Missouri. So we'll just say hi for them.
They've come a long way to watch.
They certainly did. That's the reason we'll help them out and say hello to everybody for them. A little while ago, we looked at those late models. They had that in the American Race Truck Series out here in Winchester racing tonight, along with the sprint cars. Hearst Hambeans were the sponsors of that series. It's their first venture into motorsports, so we want to welcome them into motorsports and hope they'll get more involved in the future.
Absolutely. Well, you can see the field forming up here as we get set for 30 laps of all-out racing here at Winchester. There is the 62 car of Derek Davidson, and that's the one that's going to have to go to the back.
Well, that's a tough break for Derek Davidson. I'm not sure, but the ruling is if you stop after the cars have been pushed initially, you must go to the back of the field. So he's running very far up in the point standings. It's going to be very, very tough. Actually, he's running in 3rd in the points right now. And coming from 21st or 22nd up to the top is going to be very difficult. He's done much, much better on pavement this year, but he's still, he still is not quite as good on the pavement as he probably is on the dirt at this point in his career.
Got a shot of the great crowd here tonight. Again, it's Fan Appreciation Night. $6 to get in. Homer T. Milligan is the promoter and general manager of Winchester Speedway these days, and he and his wife have done a tremendous job of getting a nearly packed house here at Winchester on a Wednesday night.
I saw Trey House, who was injured earlier in a sprint car race at Putnamville, Indiana. He was walking around the pits. We're glad to see him back and wandering around. As we saw Brandon Petty, I haven't seen him tonight, but we've seen him back after he was injured at Anderson a couple of weeks ago.
Eric Gordon will start on the pole for tonight's race. He was the 6th fastest qualifier, and remember, they inferred the 6 fastest qualifiers. So the fastest qualifier of the evening, that of course was
Who was this? The fastest qualifier?
Brian Tyler.
Brian Tyler,
is starting 6th.
Sorry,
yes.
I was not paying attention.
Fade.
I was thinking about Eric Gordon and saying that, he ran 2nd in this division a lot of times. He kind of disappeared. This is his first full season back with this division since he kind of disappeared. He had some illness in the family and some other problems, but now then he's back. And back when Jeff Gordon was just learning the ropes, he was the other Eric, or the other Gordon, I mean.
Here we go. Green flag comes out. It's a very, very good start. Everybody stayed in line and didn't pick up the throttle too soon. Eric Gordon jumps into the lead with Tracy Hines running in the 2nd position. At the end of the backstretch already, the field begins to string out just a little bit. The completion of lap number 1. Everybody in good shape for the completion of lap number 1. And it's still Eric Gordon in the lead, but Hines, as we ride on board with him, in 2nd, looking back on Ryan Newman, who closes in.
Yeah, Ryan Newman gets into the corner very, very hard. Didn't gain much on him right there. But right now, I think they're just kind of biding their time, trying to see what's going to happen. Usually what will happen after about 5 or 6 laps, the car will either pick up a push or loose condition. The tires will either grow or shrink. And once they do that, then you can start working on a way to get around somebody.
Now, remember, we saw Tracy Hines earlier in the evening in his heat race trying to work the bottom side of the racetrack coming off the corners. He is not doing that right now. He's staying up on the high side, at least for the moment. You see him there as he stays in the middle to high side of the racetrack. Car being lapped already is Kinnons as he is off the pace. But up front, it's Gordon. We're on board the CarQuest Cage Cam with Tracy Hines.
There you can see that's the 26 car, Brian Gerster, as he's getting around. Looks like the 75 car got down on the inside, tried to make a pass down there and lost the spot while he was down there trying to make the move.
That is Brian Tyler in the 75. The white car up ahead of him is Billy Puterbaugh. There is Brad Armstrong, as he is involved in a tremendous battle back here for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Eric Gordon has pulled away, but some great battling going on behind him. Second place, as Newman is now trying to take second from Tracy Hines off the fourth corner, and he didn't get it done.
And once again, the same thing. And right there we see this 62 car of Derek Davidson. He's trying to get around Matt Jewell, work his way up through the pack, but he has a long, long way to go, and he does make pretty quick work of Matt Jewell.
Boy, if the thing stays green for 30 laps, it's almost impossible to come from as far back as he started and win the race. But Derek Davidson will give it all he has to at least gain some points out of this thing, because, as we said, he is third in the point standings coming in. Now Gordon begins to catch some of the slower traffic. His advantage is almost a half a straightaway. Oh, a car in the wall. That is Billy Puterbaugh Jr., and that could have been a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, that got his attention. He got out of the throttle real big time there. And if he didn't bend something, I'm going to be pretty surprised, because he hit that wall pretty doggone hard.
I don't think he lost a position. Unbelievable.
It made my heart stop, I can tell you that.
All right, now here these guys begin.
Oh, look at that.
3 wide coming off the corner. Now Hines has got the lead from Gordon. Gordon got caught in slower traffic, and Tracy Hines has taken the lead.
Tracy Hines took advantage of that slower traffic. Gordon just breathed. He thought about it just for a second, and when he did, Hines didn't think about it. He just went to the inside, went right on around him. Now Gordon, as they come up on more traffic, he tries to go back around, and there goes Ryan Newman on the outside, side by side.
Gordon goes inside. Ryan Newman right on Tracy Hines' tail as they head for turn number 3. Hines holds him off. He's got a slower car of Kevin Miller up ahead of him. He'll try to dispose of him going into the corner, and he's going to go to the bottom of the track and do so. But now it's going to be Newman makes quick work of him also, and so does Eric Gordon.
Yeah, it looks like Newman has gotten around, so he's moved up into second place. Eric Gordon's back into third position right now, as that lap traffic makes a huge, huge difference. And look at Ryan Newman. He now looks like he's a little bit faster than Hines as he tries to go up the racetrack, get a big diamond off. That's how we talked about getting that big run off the corner, but right now, Hines is just too fast. Hines is cooking.
Hines has the lead, but he's under serious attack from Ryan Newman, who leads both the USAC Midget and Silver Bullet point standings at this point in 1999. He sits 10th in the USAC sprint car points, but doesn't run as regularly in sprint cars as he does in the Silver Bullet Series and in the Midgets. And again, he's all over the racetrack trying to find the opportunity to get to the inside now of Hines. But Tracy holds off the challenge.
Well, he's a little bit faster, and he's done the right things. He's going up the racetrack. Right here, he goes up, and he tries to get that big run down off the bottom. Now then, he just can't get it up there. Tracy Hines is running too strong off the corners from right in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, now then he's going to try clear on the outside, and almost got in the wall.
Almost up too high, scraping that wall. The 18th lap is completed. We've got 12 to go. A great battle up front. Newman trying to take the lead away from Tracy Hines, and Eric Gordon is also right there.
Oh, man, he almost touched wheels, and that's not what you want to do at a place like this. He did a great job, though, as he got down there where he had to be and never touched it. Look at Eric Gordon. He's back there in third. He's running right on the bottom of the racetrack.
And once again, Newman goes to the high side, and he's got him this time. A good move by Ryan Newman going to the high side, way up on the wall, and it paid off as Newman takes the lead. The caution is out. And the car spins down in turn number 1, and
that's a tough break for him.
And guess who it is?
Oh,
it's young son.
Robbie Rice. Looks
yes.
Looks
like he just spun. Don't see any damage to the car. Robbie is obviously okay in the cockpit. In fact, he probably wants to be pushed off. And
Bobby Smith being stopped in the pit area right now. I'm not sure what his problem is. He stops in the box, though.
Now, are they going to put Newman back to second because they go back to the previous lap?
Yeah, they probably will, and that's a terrible break for him, because he did a terrific job. It is very, very difficult, and takes a lot of nerve to go to the outside of somebody coming off of turn 4 here at Winchester. Watch this move, as he just went in very high and very hot on the outside, and he just motored through there. Now, that's the way we've seen a lot of guys used to run this place, but since they've repaved it, not very many guys do that. He's going to have to go back, though, and that's a tough break for him.
All of that is for naught. It is still Hines in the lead with Newman second and Eric Gordon third. 19 laps completed.
For great advice about digital technology, head for Circuit City. If you're looking for a DVD player, make sure you choose one with DivX. Only DVD players with DivX play both DVD and DivX movie discs. DivX lets you watch movies at home for about what it costs to rent, but you never have to return movies or pay late fees. This RCA DVD player with DivX is only $349.99, and get any 5 DivX movies free after rebate. Plug into DivX at Circuit City.
Your car doesn't look, doesn't feel, doesn't smell brand new anymore. The thrill is gone. Get it back with new vinyl. New vinyl conditions, restores, and protects vinyl and leather. You get a protective finish and a showroom feel that's so real, you can smell it. Want it back? That new car feeling? It's yours with new vinyl.
There's nothing like new vinyl, available at Rite Aid, True Value, Ace Hardware, Walgreens, Pep Boys, and other leading stores.
Game 2 tomorrow at 4 p.m. on ESPN.
What was that?
All these teams are chasing with the Yankees.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Hold the club like you're holding a bird. You don't want to hold it too tight that you crush him, or too loose that he flies away. Head behind the ball. You're getting so good at that. Head down. That is nice. Got him.
11 laps to go in the 30-lap feature here at Winchester Speedway for the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars. 51 of Tracy Hines, who started outside row number 1, is currently the leader. He had just been passed by Ryan Newman, who is running in second spot, but the caution came out. They go back to the previous lap scoring, and that has put Hines up front once again, so it'll be interesting to see what Ryan does here on the restart. Eric Gordon, who started from the pole, has been very competitive. He's stuck right in there with the top 2 all evening. Watch for Brian Tyler. Don't count him out by any means. He's running in the 4th position. Back in the 5th spot, well, there is Brian Gerster in the number 26 machine. And then back of him is Brad Armstrong in the 99.
Yeah, Brad Armstrong doing a nice job. Behind him is Peterball, then Dave Darlin, then Derek Davidson. So Derek Davidson's moved up quite a ways. He's up into the top 10 now.
All right, we're about to go back to green flag racing. 19 laps completed. The green flag comes out once again. Let's watch what happens up front. Racing with a fairly good jump, but Ryan Newman is...
Oh, look at Dave Darlin sliding around up there. Brad Armstrong's the one that had his heart stop in that case.
Well, we told you that Dave Darlin likes the dirt, and he was on dirt, broad sliding the corner off 2 there on that last lap, but did pick up a position. Now the battle up front continues. Newman is going to try exactly what he did last time, but he didn't get the chance that time. A little bit of a bobble, and besides that, Tracy moved up a lane.
Yeah, it looks like Tracy Hines has moved up a little bit on the racetrack. He's going to make it a little bit harder for him to do that this time. But let's see now. Yeah, Tracy Hines has moved up on the racetrack, so he's moved up a whole car width, and it's almost impossible to go around the outside when you're that high on the racetrack.
Hines has closed the door on Ryan. These two have been in pretty much of a personal battle here in the last few races, and the first one running first and then the other running. Oh, it looks like Newman is off the pace and pulling in.
Oh, man, he's beaten Hines the last 2 times out straight, and I'm sure that Hines was trying to beat him very badly, but he's got some sort of problem off the pace and in the pits. That's a tough break for him.
Caution is out once again. The 21 car of Kevin Miller has apparently maybe blown an engine, or something is coming from the back end of the car, and so they're going to throw out the caution and check the racetrack for possible fluids. Tough break for Ryan Newman.
Well, it's a tough break for him. He's done a tough break.
Go ahead, Gary.
Ryan, what's the problem?
Broke a bolt in the suspension, and I felt it in the car. It just actually dropped the car to the racetrack. It sure started throwing sparks, and this place like this, it ain't safe to drive it like that.
I'm going to get out of here. A broken boat and the suspension, as you heard him say, as the crew goes to work on the back, guided by his dad, Greg. What a great ride that was ended with a broken suspension component.
But a good move, because you don't want to run with that kind of a situation on a racetrack this fast.
Right. You can see that's a coil-over car, and evidently they've broken something. Maybe one of the coil-overs is busted. I'm not sure. Can't see exactly what they're working on in there, but whatever it was, it let the back end drop down on a torsion bar car. When it breaks, it falls clear down, and you've got to put on a new torsion stoppers.
22 laps completed now. We've got 8 to go, but we are under our second caution of the race with Newman's demise. Now it is Eric Gordon running in second position. We'll be back in a moment.
Did you get them brakes at Pep Boys?
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate it.
Pep Boys means quality parts and brake service from just $79.99.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Rock and roll! We love you! Rock and roll! We love you! Rock and roll! We love you!
To keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
Move it! They're catching us! I'm hungry for those good things, baby. I'm hungry through and through. I'm hungry for that sweet life, baby, with a real fine grill like you.
Rust-resistant bodies, rock-solid frames, superior warranties, reliable ignition, and the best cooking systems on Earth. These are the beautiful grills, beautifully built by Charbroil.
Can almost taste it.
Here are the top 5. Hines has the lead. Now Eric Gordon is going to be running second. Brian Tyler did pass him, but again, it was on the lap that the yellow came out, so they go back to the previous lap. Gerster is fourth, and Dave Darlin running fifth at the moment with 8 more laps to go. Brad Armstrong, Billy Peterbaugh Jr., Derek Davison, Jason McCord, and Matt Jewell complete the top 10. Ryan Newman has stepped out of the car, and it's all over for him here tonight.
Yeah, it's a tough break. He was running very, very well. Looked like he had to pass once. Let's see if we can see when that thing breaks. They're going into turn 1. You don't watch real close. You see that thing wiggle right there? I think that's probably when it dropped down, when he gave that little wiggle, and he just pulled right down on the racetrack. He didn't want any part of that thing dragging the ground and being unsafe at a place like this.
Wisely pulling out of competition, Derek Davison also came in, and they worked on his car. He goes back into competition. We go down to Gary Lee.
Was talking to Brett Armstrong earlier. He won here once last year. That is a 1990 Beast hybrid, and the reason I call it a hybrid, the car's been wrecked so many times. He said I put 4 front clips on it and 2 rear clips. He said I'm not sure how many car builders have worked on this car, but it's still pretty darn fast. Amy?
Derek Davidson came in because he had a right front flat tire. His bleeder's stuck. There's a small spring inside here that determines the air pressure in the tires, and this one just stuck flat and gave him a flat tire. So Derek Davidson, bummer for him tonight.
Yep, had to start from the rear of the field, had the flat. Isn't making much progress tonight in his effort to gain points in the Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series. For those of you just joining us, Dave Steele came here tonight with hopes of winning 5 straight races here at Winchester. He crashed, however, in hot laps, eliminating him from competition here tonight. Gary?
You know, before that one yellow, I thought we were going to talk to you in victory lane. Now, with the helmet off, we can understand better what happened.
The bolt broke in the left rear upper bearing carrier, which basically holds the suspension on the left side of the car. And I got loose going into 3, and the way the panhard bar reacts on that carrier, once it got loose and came back over on the left rear, I could feel the bolt snap. So it was actually broke for 2 laps when I was in second, but there was no sense in racing that race car like the way it was here today.
We were all holding our breath watching your antics. I mean, were you having fun out there?
It was a blast. I mean, Tracy was holding the same line, and, you know, I passed on him high. I waited impatiently for it, and it came, but unfortunately the yellow flag came at the same time. So I guess we'll just try our luck again another day.
What's the old saying about what goes around comes around? I recall you holding him off a couple times in recent weeks.
Yeah, but this time we got around him and the yellow flag came out. The last time he couldn't get around us. So Tracy's a good race car driver, and I wish my best luck to him. Hey, we'll bring this one home for his team.
About to go back racing.
Thank you.
Ryan Newman out of competition. It's Tracy Hines, Eric Gordon, and Brian Tyler, the first three, as we're set now for a green flag and the final 8 laps of competition.
Well, let's see if Eric Gordon has anything for Tracy Hines. Tracy Hines seems to have been running very well. You can see a lot of oil dry down there. Somebody dropped some oil and they put some oil dry down. Ooh, Dave Darland once again very sideways coming off of turn 2.
He's trying to pass Brian Gerster up in front of him. That's Tyler up on the high side in 75. He'll dive it off the corner, try to come low on Eric Gordon, unable to do so. So they remain in the same order as Tracy Hines now begins to pull away a little bit. Tyler challenges this time to the inside of Eric Gordon through the 3rd and 4th corners. Still nothing there, and we've got 6 to go.
Boy, I tell you, those guys are trying everything. Look at Tyler way to the top of the racetrack, diamonds down off, trying to get all that straightaway speed he can get. Still doesn't have anything for Eric Gordon. And right now he's going to try it once again. Eric Gordon just pinches him down enough coming off the corner that he can't get that big straightaway speed that he needs.
Man, he came way down on almost the flat part of the racetrack to try to get the position away from Gordon. Now he goes to the high side. Perhaps he's going to dive it off once again. Cannot do it.
He's got the right idea. He just can't muster up enough speed. Now then it looks like, oh, good. Then it looked like he had enough speed, but just can't do it. Look at Eric Gordon, though. He's running down on the inside there trying to block that.
Car spun up in the first turn is Matt Jewell. And so the caution comes out once again. Well, and we're on 26 laps completed.
4 laps to go, and you can see that he got into the guardrail pretty hard. The rear bumper, and that thing's bent, and I think that'll probably end his racing day.
A tough evening for Matt Jewell, who bumped wheels in the 3rd heat race and damaged the car, but they were able to get it fixed to compete in the feature race. But once again, let's take a look at what happened back here.
Look
there
at
is
Davidson.
Jewell.
Yeah, Davidson's way at the top of the racetrack. He's getting on the brakes real hard, heads down to the inside of the racetrack and misses him pretty easily. But at these speeds, you're closing so fast, sometimes it's just not possible to miss an accident like that.
Mass from Walcott, Iowa. He finished 13th in the USAC sprint car points last year. Finished in the top 10 9 times in 14 starts. About 15 minutes or so, about 14 minutes actually, we'll be switching you to ESPN Sports Center, where you will be caught up on all the activity in the world of sports, including that big Pacer game that everybody here in the central and eastern Indiana, in fact, all over this area of the country, very, very interested in how the Pacers are going to do against the Knicks.
Right. Once again, as we take a look back through the field, Computer Ball, Brad Armstrong, Dave Darland, all those guys still up there could have a shot to move up a few spots, but really it looks like Tyler running in 3rd and Eric Gordon running in 2nd have the best shot to try to beat Tracy Hines right now.
There are your top 5, and they really haven't changed since the last caution. And it appears to be a rather difficult racetrack to pass on tonight. I think when we had the blown engine over there in 3 and 4, we got some fluid down, and it's not that the track officials and USAC have not done their job in getting the oil up out of the racetrack, but when it gets slick, it's just slick.
Yeah, it just is slick. There's nothing you can do, so everybody has to do the best they can. It's the same for everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. You can see Matt Jewell has his helmet off, so his night is finished. I thought with that bumper being knocked off of that thing, it'd be pretty hard to go back out there and run, but looks like they're pushing him with the bumper, so it can't be as bad as maybe I thought.
Yeah, but it's pretty well messed up.
Yeah, and he could have bent the axle or something. And I think Robbie Rice, who was spun earlier, he's been running very slow at the bottom of the racetrack, so he obviously had some sort of problem with that race car, too, and he's just kind of out there putting in his time at the moment.
Next time around, we'll be going green, and hopefully for the final 4 laps of this race. Again, next week on Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern, we'll be in Anderson, Indiana, the fast quarter-mile high bank track for the MCI WorldCom USAC Midget cars. All right, let's see what happens here in the final 4 laps. Tracy Hines is in command. with Eric Gordon, Brian Tyler, and Brian Gerster running in the top 4. Green comes out on lap number 27.
Well, Tracy Hines got a tremendous restart. Eric Gordon got caught a little bit of sleep. It was back 3 or 4 car lengths, and nobody could take advantage of it, though, because once he picked up the throttle, nobody could get an advantage. Look at the outside, though. Everybody keeps moving down and down. Brian Gerster saw that hole on the top side and just took advantage of it.
Gerster moves into 3rd. Now, is he able to get around Eric Gordon? We'll see as they race down the backstretch. So Tyler got that 3rd place taken away from him. Gerster again stays up high. Tyler way down low again, but that just doesn't cut it tonight.
Wow, he got so low and slid up across that thing. It's very hard to do that because that's so low. It's so almost flat down there. It's very, very difficult.
Here comes the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Will Hines be able to take the victory here tonight? He looks pretty good right now. The battle is for 2nd position. Eric Gordon and Brian Gerster. Brian Tyler also right there up on the high side. They come off the corner, head for the checkered. It is Tracy Hines winning at Winchester.
Well, Tracy Hines did a terrific job. He ran that race car exactly where he needed to be. The only mistake he made was he got real conservative, moved to the bottom of the racetrack, and Ryan Newman went around him. He found out right away that it's a little bit faster, a little bit farther up the racetrack. He moved up there, and nobody got close to him again.
He has victories this year at Terre Haute on the dirt, Salem on the high banks, Eldora on the dirt, and now here at Winchester on the pavement. He has been fast qualifier 4 times so far this year, so things are going well for Tracy Hines. He picks up the victory here tonight at Winchester Speedway.
I don't know what his steering problem was, but he definitely got it fixed, let me tell you that.
Certainly did. We'll be back to talk with him in just a moment when we return to Winchester, where Tracy Hines is the winner.
When precision, quality, and speed count, depend on Craftsman. When you need the power of a wrench with the speed of a ratchet, reach for the Craftsman Quick Wrench. The Craftsman Quick Wrench's unique open-end design lets you ratchet around fasteners. There's no need to reposition. Every quick wrench is up to 30% longer than conventional wrenches. That means extra leverage, more torque, and extended reach for tight spaces. Like other Craftsman hand tools, the Quick Wrench is guaranteed forever. Craftsman makes anything possible.
Do you want to get closer to NASCAR action? Take a lap with NASCAR Online. Log on anytime and get all the latest news, up to the second standings, and in-depth track analysis. Plus, Garage Cam shows you how your favorite crew and driver are gearing up for the weekend. During the race, find out instantly your favorite driver's position and how the track's running. You can even listen in as drivers radio to their pit crew live.
Be smooth, don't hit the wall with it.
When the green flag drops, strap into the official site of NASCAR, NASCAR Online. To get any deeper into the race, you'd have to qualify.
A great tradition reborn on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights, the main event live. Danny Romero takes on Enrique Jupiter in a 10-round super bantamweight bout. Plus Butterbean. Friday Night Fights, Friday at 9:30 on ESPN2.
Check out the top 10 finishers here at Winchester tonight. It's Tracy Hines, Eric Gordon, Brian Gerster, Brian Tyler, and Billy Puterbaugh Jr. in the top 5. 6 through 10, Dave Darland, Brad Armstrong, Derek Davidson, Jason McCord, and Bobby Smith brings it home in 10th position. Victory Lane is always a fun place to be. Here's Gary.
The first guy over to congratulate Tracy was Ryan Newman. The second person up was your mother to give you a kiss. Your dad came over and gave you a high five. I think your wife is still watching the Pacers game, so she hasn't made it over here. Congratulations.
Thanks. You know, I just gotta give credit and thanks to my sponsors, Tom Cherry Mufflers, Billy Neal Trailer Sales, Justice Brothers, you know, Hoosier Tires. They held up. We really weren't the fastest car out there. We just kind of survived. I had a handful. There's something wrong with my steering box because the car will not turn in the center of the corner. And it's not a push, it's just the steering box locks up on me. And then you can see I just shake it loose once the front wheels finally would grip. You know, Donnie Ray, before he died, he built me a heck of a motor in this car. And Eminem rebuilt it just as fine as Donnie Ray could build it. And that's probably what saved us, was a lot of horsepower down the straightaway.
You know, I don't think you're going to get any sympathy from anybody that chased you for those laps out there when you said you couldn't steer the race car, because the only guy that really had something for you was Ryan Newman. He actually got you and then had to go back after that yellow.
Yeah, you know, I think that makes us even for that IRP night before the 500, because I was faster than him there and couldn't beat him, and he was faster than me here, and something happened to him. So, you know, let us take this win. It's our 4th win this year, and hopefully we can build a little more on it.
You know, I want to talk about versatility. To win a USAC Sprint Championship, it takes exactly that. You won the flat dirt at Terre Haute. You won the high bank dirt at Eldora. And now 2 of the high bank paved tracks at Salem and Winchester. You certainly are showing how versatile you are, and obviously using this as a springboard to greater things, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, hopefully I got some people watching me down south that I've been talking to, and hopefully they showed a little bit of my talent. As far as the championship goes, we're not really going for points. You know, I know it's a cliche that everybody says it, but we start out the year, I got so many different teams that I drive for. I drive for Willoughby Racing on the dirt and the sprint. So, I mean, we're probably going to try to run every race, and if the points fall in, they do. But right now, I'm just trying to run all 3 divisions, make money, and get as many skills and learn as much as I can.
Yeah, but you come in 2nd place, and you're making a charge for the lead whether you're going for points or not. Let's go to Amy East in 2nd place.
I thought Eric Gordon did one heck of a job fighting off 3rd place all night. But in actuality, you really had your hands full with this race car. Tell me a little bit about the left front of your car.
Right now, there's not much there. It's a rim and a tire. The missing part's about 14 pounds of air. We lost the air pressure early, and that's how them guys were able to get me. The car felt really good. The Boo Brothers Stealth was running fine, and we had it set up real nice. Sam Brooks turned the wrenches, and just one of them deals, you know, every time you start thinking you got a hold on it, something else happens. And I was hoping to win it tonight for Jim, Bill, and Rich Boo that are back home in Clay City. But, you know, I had to take up every bit of track I could to finish 2nd. And I imagine Brian's a little unhappy, but he would have done the same thing in my position. I still felt we had a strong enough motor, and Tracy's handling was going away. I thought I might have a shot at him with those last 4 laps because it was wearing me out steering the thing. And on those yellow flags, I was able to rest up to take a run at him. We weren't, after that tire went down, we were no longer the fastest car out there. I don't think Tracy was either. We were probably holding Brian up. But before that tire went flat, I didn't figure anybody was going to get us.
Man, Winchester is so tough, and you have to have steering, you have to have brakes, and a left front tire that's flat is horrible. I know, and Eric is wiped out, and now we know why. He did such a great job holding on to 2nd place.
And it's nice to see him back in a competitive position. As you mentioned, Larry, he's been off of racing for a few years. He was runner-up in the sprint car points in 89, 90, and 91. And perhaps he can mount a challenge and finish 2nd or maybe even 1st in the series this year. Well, while the sprint cars are being put on their haulers, we've got some trucks on the racetrack, and we have the Pronto Auto Parts 400 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Friday at 7:30 Eastern Time here on The Deuce. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. We'll wrap it up in a moment.
With Days Inn hotels in over 1,800 cities and towns, you can go as far as you want. We'll always be right down the lane. Days Inn. There you go.
Twist it, turn it, anywhere you want it, anywhere you want it to go.
Goes where you want it.
Move it up high, baby, you can move it down low.
Stays where you put it. The flexible shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
He's pressed for time, but he's still gonna get a great shine. Introducing new Turtle Wax Express Shine Liquid Car Wax. Just wipe on, there's no bumping. The rich Carnauba formula gives you hard shell protection and breakthrough shine in no time. Great for all finishes, clear coats too. Turtle Wax Express Shine, spray or new liquid. And for vinyl and rubber, get Formula 2001, the super protectant.
Bass fishermen in search of the ultimate.
I found the ultimate. Ultimate bass fishing from Radica.
Why the ultimate?
Realism, boys. You feel the fish bite with your finger on the line. The ultimate. You work your lure with your rod just like the real thing. The ultimate. Hook one, line tightens, rod bends. Real reverses for right or left-handers.
Nice outfit, Parker.
You got a dress for the ultimate, boys. Ultimate bass fishing. Get real, get Radica.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars from Winchester being brought to you by Charbroil. See leading retailers for beautiful grills. beautifully built by Charbroil. Onboard cameras, courtesy of CarQuest. For your local store, dial 1-800-492-PART. The evening is over as far as the sprint cars are concerned. It was Tracy Hines driving to victory here tonight over Eric Gordon, Brian Gerster, Brian Tyler, and Billy Puterbaugh Jr. Dave Darlin, Brad Armstrong, Derek Davidson, Jason McCord, and Bobby Smith were the top 10 finishers. Down to Gary Lee.
What a great show, but I have to wonder what would have happened had Dave Steele and Tony Elliott not crashed in hot laps earlier this evening. Amy?
You know, Winchester gives me a stomach ache. This place is fast, the cars look twitchy, and all in all, hats off to the crews and the drivers for one safe and exciting race.
Well, you're right about that. It is a very dangerous racetrack. As we pointed out in the very early part of the show, no accidents here tonight. Dave Darlin has the points lead in the sprint car series over Tracy Hines now, who is closing in. Derek Davison is third, Tyler fourth, Tony Elliott fifth, and Eric Gordon is sixth in the point standings after 12 races.
Well, this is a tough place. We made it through the night without anybody getting hurt, without getting more than one or two cars tore up. So I think we had a fairly successful night. And most of all, a guy like Hines, who overcame some pretty bad difficulties to win.
On Friday, check out the Pronto Auto Parts 400 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series at Texas Motor Speedway, 7:30 Eastern on Friday night. And a reminder, next week, next Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern, we have the MCI WorldCom USAC Midget cars in action from Anderson Speedway as our coverage on Thunder continues in 1999. SportsCenter is coming up next. Congratulations to Tracy Hines for his victory here tonight at Winchester Speedway. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.